I think the biggest challenges that countries have, and by extension the world has, is how do we train our students? How do we educate our people for the world in the future? The reason why this is so difficult is the world is changing so rapidly. The future is so unpredictable. And the future, we already see how things change within one day, within a week, within a year, whether it's pandemics, whether it's new technologies, whether it's how young people think. The world is changing rapidly and dynamically. And how do you train people for that world? What kind of education? The problem is when we are educationalists, we as educationalists, we as policymakers, we think it used to be better for us. It's like it was so great when we were kids, but that's not always true. And it was a different world that we lived in. So I think we have to keep certain things in mind. We have to think about inclusion. We call it radical inclusion. If you solve for the most excluded, those on the margins, those who are outside, those who are not in the room, needless to say at the table, the solution is going to work for everybody. So we have to use radically inclusive policies. We also have to, as I say, center on people, planets, and pennies. When we think about money, because investment is important, think about the planet and think about the people, then we will come up with neat solutions that will be better suited for the future. So I don't have an answer that says we should do ABC, but the framework I offer is that we should be radically inclusive and we should think about people, pennies, and the planet.
Yes.
In Sierra Leone, we were lucky because we have a leader, President Julius Maada Bio, who believes in education. We have a leader who's passionate about education. And so his first time he became president, he did policies that many thought was impossible to do, that we didn't have money for. He said every child should come to school from day one. In fact, he added pre-primary education all the way through secondary education. Didn't stop there. If you're a girl doing science, STEM, you should go all the way through. So 17 years of public education, free if you're a female doing STEM. And for most other people, 13 years. And that changed people's minds. He put money there, so he put money where his mouth was and put 22% of the government budget. And we changed policies, new curriculum, civic education, teacher training, increased teacher salaries by 55%, and then did 15% increments every year, built classrooms, over 1,500 classrooms, expanded accessibility, over 1,800 growth percent for kids with learning disabilities. So leadership really is what drove the education reform in Sierra Leone, and that was President Bio who was at the front of it. The UAE and Sierra Leone have very deep relationships, but it's gotten even better. Just in the last 12 months, His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio was here on an official state visit. So the president has had state visits here. We've participated in the World Government Summit severally. I have participated as Chief Innovation Officer, as Minister of Education, won the World Best Minister Award, and then now as Chief Minister. So all of these different participations are to deepen our relationships at the ministerial level, at the head of agency level. Now we're bringing private sector as well. We have private sector people who are in this delegation. And those are the things that will deepen investments between UAE and Sierra Leone, learning experiences between our two countries. In Sierra Leone, our priorities are encapsulated in our National Development Plan. There are 5 big priorities that the president said. Agriculture is one, youth, skills development, skills, employment. So we want to create lots of jobs for people, public sector reform, and then technology, innovation, and infrastructure. These are our priorities. And within those, we have critical things that we want to achieve. For feed salon agriculture, we increased the land under cultivation last year. We were able to increase harvest. But this year, we want to make sure that we're now producing. Not just do we plant rice and harvest them, we need to make sure that that translates into post-harvest processing and storage and distribution. We need to ensure that education, human capital development is still a priority for us as well, that it's centered into what we do. We're doing an early childhood education expansion. So lots of different things in each one of these big 5 priority areas.